Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
What's going on, everybody? We got ChadArmesTV. We got the dog Broadway, or Scottie Broadway, with us tonight, and we're gonna sit down and talk with him. Man, he's been a producer in Nashville's rap scene for years, going back to what, early 2000s when you got started.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to sit down and talk with him and kind of do like we always do with these interviews. He's also got new music on the way too, so we'll wrap up the interview with that, promoting his new album that's on the way. So first thing we'll do, man, growing up, like, do you want to talk about when you were growing up, like the influences you had in music? What got you into music? You know, like what age and all that?
What age? I really don't. I don't know what age it was. I really don't remember life without music. My family, they're all musicians. My pops, he's a pianist. My uncle is a pianist. My granddad was in a group called Fairfield Four. Mm-hmm. If you've seen "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Oh yeah,
they're all on the soundtrack. He won a Grammy with them. So
that's awesome. Yeah, you've spoken about that. I've heard you speak about that.
Yeah. He's got we got a big family, and they all do music. So I don't.
As far as what age, but what did you get into first? As far as, did you get into instruments, or did
I was playing bass more than anything. I picked up bass before I picked up anything else playing bass guitar.
Guitar,
yeah. Started taking lessons from Victor Wooten, or not Victor Wooten, excuse me, Reggie Wooten.
Oh, the Wooten brothers are like
brother,
infamous
Reggie.
in Nashville.
Yeah, for sure. Started taking from him and just playing in school and stuff like that. So I was always in the band and in strings and stuff like that growing up. So I was just always a musician and whatnot.
And you're born and raised in Nashville?
Yeah.
Sure. So you'd already been playing like bass and playing instruments and stuff in school. When did you get into the producing side? What made you like want to start trying to make beats? Was that in school or was that after you got out of school?
It was kind of after I got out of high school. My brother used to make tracks.
Okay.
I used to watch him make tracks, but I didn't do it. But I started mimicking what I heard and stuff like that. And the reason I really started making them or trying to make them all the time was I was rapping. I was just playing around with it, but it was me and Sticks. We were rapping and we didn't have any tracks, so I started
so you
making.
just figured out how to make tracks. Okay.
Yeah, I just started being the one that makes the tracks. That's just what I do. So
and a lot of folks that know of you from the Nashville scene, you know, they know of you. A lot of them know you alongside of Sticks or Sticks Izza. At what time when did y'all link up? Did y'all go to school together, or?
Man, I've known him my whole life, just about, like, that I can remember. Like his dad and my dad were friends. His dad and my uncle were good friends. So I've known him my whole life.
Just always been, y'all just always been cool.
We started doing music in high school, like at the end of high school and whatnot.
So it's just been childhood friends. Y'all just grew up
that's
together.
My boy. That's my family.
Yeah, that's cool. So y'all, at what time frame would you say that would have been? That would have been like early 2000s. Whenever you decided to start making beats, did you just get some equipment and try to just troubleshoot it, or did somebody help you?
Man, I had a keyboard. It was called a JX305, and I started mimicking. Like, I would remake. The way I started making tracks with it was I started mimicking like Just Blaze, Kanye West,
which makes sense because that's from that time frame.
Trying to just make the tracks that they made,
right?
You know what I mean? It wasn't even. I wasn't thinking about being a producer or anything like that. I just wanted to learn how to make this keyboard, so I would just start seeing if I could make what they
doing
made.
what they did. Yeah.
So, and then after that, it was some people heard it and was like, "Damn, we could use these. We could rap on these." So that's really how it happened. So.
And then when you and Sticks had started doing, he started writing raps and stuff, and then he needed somebody to make his beats, and you started doing the tracks for him.
Yeah.
And that's when y'all started putting out the Sticks mixtapes.
Yeah, his first one was Everybody Raps, I believe.
That's the one I have.
No, that's the one you had. The first one is Talk of the Town. That's what it was
Talk
called.
of the Town. Yeah, that was his whole. It was Sticks. Talk of the Town. Yeah,
that's what it was called.
So that's when y'all started doing that, and y'all were just kind of doing the mixtape grind, just like I guess everybody did, is like coming up. He was just putting out tracks, and back then it was all the physical media hustle, man. It was CDs.
Yeah, for sure.
and stuff like
packaging
that.
up.
When did you come into contact? Whenever y'all started doing that, when did y'all start seeing it kind of gain some steam? Was it after that first one, or did it take a little bit after that, or?
It seemed like from the jump, from the first one that he put out, people started hearing him.
Yeah,
because it was like we have a lot of friends that do music around from the same neighborhood and whatnot. So it was all of us just heard each other's music. So when the first mixtape he did, I believe he was nominated for an SEA album.
Yeah.
It was just like from the jump, it was let's go.
Did y'all meet, or did y'all know some of the people that was doing music at that same time, like Fade or Star or Paper or Bezel Gang? Did y'all meet them through music, or did y'all know them?
Nah, man. It's I knew them from school. Like I've known them since we were kids.
So did you went to school? You went to school with Fade?
I went to school with them from 7th grade. Like
okay, so
we grew up together. Before music, we knew each other. So
yeah.
We just all happened to be talented in music and just started doing music
at
different times. And
that's what I was telling Fate and Paper and Callie. Like, it's so crazy that there was that group of talent all in the same high school.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that like Calico and Fate and all that, and Paper and all them were saying about they had the studio where you could where the students could do that stuff. That's unheard of, bro. And look what it did.
We weren't really allowed to do it like that. We weren't supposed to be in
there. But y'all just kind of.
So we had a teacher. His name was Victor Gabaney. Is my guy, Vic Gabaney. So it was a few of us. We had class up there, but we all used to skip our other class and just go to the studio. And it was so many of us, he couldn't keep track. So we were just all in there making music. It wasn't like we was like we could all be in there. It was like, hey, I saw Pay was in an interview and he was like, he think we were allowed to be in. No, we weren't all supposed to be.
Okay, so that y'all kind of was doing it, but at least y'all were skipping school to like work on music, and you wasn't getting in trouble and stuff.
It was fun, and we all got our start right there. Like
for sure.
I was really more doing the recording side and the more playing music or whatnot, but they were rapping and Faye was making tracks. So everybody got their start from Hillsborough Studio, and it'd be dope.
It's legendary shit, man. I mean, the shit that whether y'all were, however y'all ended up getting there or being there, whatever, the fact that y'all were all able to do that and build something like that somewhere that you wouldn't have ever thought that would have happened. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because it's just cool that y'all always had that mindset, even back then, because this was before. What people don't understand is back then, bro, this was before the internet. The internet was new. It was around. It's not that, but there was no like social media or anything like that back then. Everything that we did and y'all did and everybody at that time frame, they did the same grind as far as that goes. It wasn't easy to be an artist.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? You had to be serious about it, man, to be able to do it. You couldn't just do it on your computer and upload it to the internet like that. So you started doing the producing and stuff for Styx, and that started picking up steam. And then you started branching out and producing for other artists, right? Because I know you've done a lot of stuff for him, but you've done some stuff for Bezel Gang and Paper, and y'all worked with all the same people we just mentioned, Fate. And did you do anything for Star too?
Yeah, I did.
I thought you did some stuff from Star. Yeah, for sure. So you was staying heavy with that, and then I linked up with you around, I want to say 06 or something, and it was off the contact info from Styx, from Styx's Volume 2, because I got Styx on a feature, and y'all came to the house and you did the feature, and then that's how me and you linked up. I linked up originally with Styx to get a verse from him, and then me and you started doing. I got several tracks from him. I know you did the majority of my stuff from in like 06, 07. You were doing a lot of my production.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And then I know that of course Squints has known you for years. He's worked with you, and you did a lot of that stuff. So you just kept going with the music, and then did you come to a spot when you started to take a break? Was it when you had your son that you started kind of just focusing more on that, or was it?
No, I didn't really take a break. It was just I did have a big transition when I had my son though. Before I had my son, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was working for a record label in Charlotte.
Okay,
it's called Envious Entertainment. But when I had my son, it was more like you gotta be here. It wasn't. I couldn't be on tour. I couldn't be out working with these people. I had to be home with him. So it just changed a little bit. So it stopped being working with people in other states and working more with people around here.
Right, because you was here with him.
Yeah.
So you was doing that before. Okay, I see what you mean. For sure. So you started doing that, and you kept going with that, and obviously once you had your son, I'm sure it obviously changed a lot for you as far as it made you reevaluate stuff and figure you get your priorities like you said you had to move back to Nashville.
Yeah.
And then you kept producing, and then did you ever, like, even back then, I know like what you're doing now is obviously what you probably always wanted to do.
Okay.
Did you ever want to do it back then, and was something just holding you back from doing it, or did you just not have the?
I mean, I've done music. I've always recorded myself as well. But I don't think it was time for me to do it. It could have happened before, but
not how you really wanted it.
Not how I really would have liked it to come out and whatnot. But I've always made music. I think most people that I've worked with have heard something that I've done or another. Like you played a song that I did a verse with you. I didn't even remember that I did that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
And that was 07. That was around that time, because that was around that time that I put that out. Was 07, 08. So you started to do that, and this is towards when did you get to the point where you said, "Hey, I want to start doing. I want to really try to do like solo music." Like what we're fixing to talk about now, which is the Scottie Broadway stuff, which is the R&B stuff. When did you say, this is what I want to do? I know we're probably fast forwarding some, because you've been doing production and stuff throughout these years. You did another thing, big record you did was the City Paper Dope Boy Swag.
Yeah.
That's the one that still, like we talked about, and Paper talked about it. That was, as far as popularity, I would say that was would you say that would be your most
popular song?
Yeah.
Big song? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I heard it the other day at TSU's homecoming, like playing everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it still gets played. Yeah.
If you go anywhere in Nashville, you hear that track play somewhere. So I would say so.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then so, would you say was it just a couple of years ago where the Scottie Broadway idea came about, or was it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what made you want to start working on that?
I think when I started wanting my voice to be heard more than anything. Like, not even just like the music, but my opinions about things and my views about things. It's just, and also when when I realized what is really important is part of it when I decided I wanted to put my own music. And I've always, like I said, I've always recorded myself and stuff, and I've always thought about putting it out, but it's always been something that made me not put it out. You know what I mean?
Something's kept you from doing it.
It's always it can be better, or it needs this, or it can, you know what I mean? So it's just, bro, a couple years ago, bro, to be honest, I had what I feel like it was a near death experience, bro. So like, and it's actually one of those pens, like a vape pen, a THC pen, but I got a bad pen.
Oh wow, what happened?
I got a pen from somebody I've been shopping with, you know what I mean? So got a pen, and I knew it was stronger than normal or whatnot, but I didn't smoke it that much. But I went out one day and I smoked it a few times, bro, and out completely, bro. And they said I was out.
Unconscious?
I passed out at a bar. Like, they told me I was out for a while, but I remember the shit that I saw, like, while I was out. Like, so,
did you have to go? Did somebody take you to the hospital or anything?
I woke up and I left, bro. I didn't go to the hospital.
Do you know what it was?
Bro, it was the pen. I know it was.
But do you know what it was that caused it to do that? Like, what was in it, or did you?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was just a bad. It was a counterfeit pen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So So, bro,
no telling what it could have been.
It could have been anything. It could have been a pesticide. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after that, I learned it just, bro, you got to know where you got to, if you going to smoke and stuff like that, you got to know where you're going to shop at. You got to shop from people that are official people. You know what I mean? You can't just,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah, so after that, bro, it's like, I started getting my priorities in order as far as what I think is important, bro. And one of them was, I wanted to put music out. I told myself I was gonna show my son I could put out a project, and I was just gonna show my son that I could do that. So
yeah, and that's kind of. But before we get to that, I do want to ask you, where did you come up with the name Broadway? How did that name come about?
To be honest, I really believe my boy Will, he used to go by the name Hawk, gave me that name.
He was on that volume 2, I think. Wasn't he?
He was all over Sticks old music.
I met him, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But he started calling me that. I'm not exactly sure why he did it. Just one of those things.
Nicknames. Yeah, it stuck. I was just always curious about where you got the name Broadway, but a lot of the time that's what it is. A lot of times it's just a nickname somebody gives you that just sticks with you. You know. So coming up to now to where we're at Scottie Broadway. This is going to be coming out in November, but we've spoken about you've got a project that's coming out. Is it a self-titled project? Is it just called Scottie Broadway, or do you decided on that?
I'm working on a few titles right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly, but I've got a few titles. But I've thought about it being self-titled, but I think I've got something that just means something. Right now. Yeah.
Well, what we've heard is really, really good stuff, and anybody that knows you that hasn't ever heard you. They just know you for your production, or the couple of times here and there that you may have rapped on something. This is not this. When he played me, when Squints played me that, I didn't have a clue what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I just thought you were rapping, or maybe But when he played me that, I mean, it's such good shit, dude. It's really good.
I appreciate it.
But I'm just excited for people to hear you, and I'm glad that you're dropping this project because I think it's going to do well for you, and it's going to turn a lot of people's heads because a lot of people aren't going to be expecting it. Is that kind of what you're feeling about it too?
I know people aren't going to be expecting what they hear. It's just I don't think I talk much as far as like to people. Most people don't know what my voice sounds like for the most part. I'm not really a rah type loud.
No,
person,
you've always been you've always been reserved and quiet, but yeah.
So even just for me to be doing it, a lot of people wouldn't even expect it. But
how long of a process was this to? Because the project's finished as we're doing this. It's completed, right? Yeah. The album's finished. You're just waiting to release it. Mm-hmm. And how long of a process was it for you to get the project done? Was it a couple of years, or was it just trial and error? Did you record a lot of songs and then whittle it down to the 7 that you picked?
Some of these songs, bro, like I wrote some of these songs a long time ago. Okay. And I actually recorded some of them a long time ago, and then just updating them. So it's been a process over a few years, like just putting the whole project together. But the recording process, I mean, it's a few months, so we're not up recording them. But you know what I mean, it's just the whole process. I've got songs that I wrote it with when I was talking to this person. For sure. You know what I mean? So it's different. Music is different. It's all kind of different stuff on there. So it's been a good few-year process to get it done.
Well, it's from what we've heard, it's really good, man. I look forward to hearing the full project, and I just wanted to kind of put some light on you because obviously we get you on the podcast too, but I always like doing these too because people that aren't familiar, a lot of the artists that I've been doing lately, like doing interviews lately, like with Paper and Fate, a lot of ChadArmesTV's audience aren't aware of them because a lot of them are just on the country rap side or just over the last couple of years.
Gotcha.
So they're becoming fans of these artists just from finding out about them. So that's kind of what I want to do for you as well because what you're doing is really good and you're the homie. You know what I mean?
That, bro.
So we look forward to it, and I'll make sure to put all of your link, your social media, your Instagram link in there, and once the project's out, we'll obviously get back up with you and we'll kind of do some more stuff about it to kind of help you push it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us, man. I just wanted to do like a an interview with you just to kind of let people know, kind of where you started and where you're at and stuff. So I appreciate it, dog.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Y'all be sure to tune in, man. Scottie Broadway's new project's coming out in December, and y'all be sure to get that when it drops. ChadArmesTV.